Nehemyah, Nehemiah, chapters 4-7. Nehemyah, Nehemiah, chapter 4. And it came to be, when Sanballat heard that we were building the wall, that he was wroth and highly offended, and mocked the Yahudim. And he spoke before his brothers and the army of Shamaron, and said, What are these feeble Yahudim doing? Are they going to restore, slaughter, complete it in a day? Are they going to bring to life these stones from the heaps of rubbish which are burned? And Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, Whatever they build, if a fox should climb on it, he shall break down their stone wall. Hear, O our Elohim, for we have become despised, and turn back their reproach on their own heads, and give them as a prey in a land of captivity, and do not cover over their wickedness, and do not let their sin be blotted out from before you, for they have provoked you before the builders. So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to the half of it, for the people had a heart to work. And it came to be, when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were being repaired, and the broken places began to be filled, that they became very wroth, and all of them conspired together to come to fight against Jerusalem and to do harm to it. But we prayed to our Elohim and stood a watch against them day and night because of them. And Yahudah said, The strength of the burden bearers is weakening, and there is so much rubbish that we are unable to build the wall. And our adversaries said, Let them now know and see it until we come into their midst, and shall slay them and cause the work to cease. And it came to be, when the Yahudim who dwelt near them came, that they said to us 10 times, From whatever place you turn, they are against us. So I appointed behind the lower parts of the wall, at the openings, the people I appointed according to their clans, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up and said to the nobles, and to the deputy rulers, and to the rest of the people, Do not be afraid of them. Remember the great and awesome Yahuah, and fight for your brothers, your sons, and your daughters, your wives, and your houses. And it came to be, when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that Elohim had brought their counsel to naught, that all of us returned to the wall, everyone to his work. And it came to be, from that time on, that half of my servants were working in the work, while the other half were holding the spears, the shields, and the bows, and the breastplates. And the rulers behind all the house of Yahudah, who were building on the wall, and those bearing burdens, those loading, working with one hand in the work, and with the other holding a weapon. As for the builders, each one had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded the ram's horn was beside me. And I said to the nobles, and to the deputy rulers, and to the rest of the people, The work is great and large, and we are separated far from one another on the wall. In whatever place you hear the sound of the ram's horn, join us there. Our Elohim fights for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the break of day until the stars appeared. At that time I also said to the people, Let each man and his servant spend the night in Jerusalem, and they shall be our guard by night, and for the work by day. So neither I, nor my brothers, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off our garments, each one his weapon, even at the water. Nehemyah, Nehemiah, chapter 5. And there was a great outcry of the people and their wives against their brothers, the Yahudim. And there were some who were saying, We, our sons and our daughters, are many. Let us get grain for them and eat and live. And there were some who were saying, We have mortgaged our lands and vineyards and houses. Let us buy grain because of the scarcity of food. And there were those who were saying, We have borrowed silver for the sovereign's tax on our lands and vineyards, and now our flesh is like the flesh of our brothers, our children like their children. And see, we are subjecting our sons and our daughters to be slaves, and some of our daughters have been subjected, and there is no power in our hands, for other men have our lands and vineyards. And it was very displeasing to me when I heard their outcry and these words, and my heart ruled over me, and I strove with the nobles and with the deputy rulers, and said to them, You are exacting interest, each one from his brother. And I called a great assembly against them and said to them, according to our ability, we have redeemed our brothers, the Yahudim, who were sold to the Gentiles. And you even sell your brothers, or should they be sold to us? And they were silent and found not a word. I also said, what you are doing is not good. Should you not walk in the reverence of our Elohim because of the reproach of the Gentiles, our enemies? And also I, my brothers, and my servants am lending them silver and grain. Please, let us leave off this interest. Please give back to them even today their lands, their vineyards, their olive trees, and their houses, also the 100th part of the silver and of the grain and of the new wine and of the oil that you have taken from them. And they said, let us give it back and ask no more from them. We do as you say. Then I called the Kohanim and made them swear to do according to this word. I also shook out the fold of my garment and said, let Elohim in this way shake out each man from his house and from his property who does not do this word, even to be thus shaken out and emptied. And all the assembly said, Amen, and praised Yahuah, and the people did according to this word. Also, from the day I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Yehudah, from the 20th year unto the 32nd year of sovereign Artaxerxes, 12 years, neither I nor my brothers ate the governor's food. But the former governors who were before me laid burdens on the people and took from them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Their servants also oppressed the people, but I did not do so because of the reverence of Elohim. And I also applied myself to the work on this wall. We did not buy any land, and all my servants were gathered there for the work. And at my table were 150 of the Yahudim and deputy rulers, besides those who came to us from the nations around us. And that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep, and birds were prepared for me, and once every 10 days plenty of all kinds of wine. And in spite of this, I did not seek the governor's food, because the bondage was heavy on this people. O my Elohim, remember me for this good, all that I have done for this people. Nehemiah, chapter 6. And it came to be when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies heard that I had rebuilt the wall, and that there were no breaks left in it, though at that time I had not put up the doors in the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, Come, let us meet together in the villages in the plain of Ono. But they were planning to do evil to me, so I sent messengers to them, saying, I am doing a great work, and I am unable to come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and come down to you? However, they sent me the same word 4 times, and I answered them the same word. Then Sanballat sent his servant to me with an open letter in his hand, the same word, the 5th time. In it was written, Among the nations it has been heard, and Gashmu is saying that you and the Yahudim are planning to rebel. Therefore you are rebuilding the wall, and you are to be their sovereign, according to these words. And you have also appointed Nevi'im to proclaim concerning you at Jerusalem, saying, A sovereign is in Yehudah. And now these words are heard by the sovereign. Therefore come now, and let us take counsel together. Then I sent to him, saying, There are no such matters done as you are saying, but you are inventing them in your own heart. For all of them were making us afraid, saying, Let their hands slacken for the work, and it not be done. But now make my hands strong. And when I came to the house of Shemaiah, son of Delaiah, son of Mehetabel, who was restrained, he said, Let us meet together in the house of Elohim inside the Haikel, and let us close the doors of the Haikel, for they are coming to slay you. By night they are coming to slay you. And I said, Should a man like me flee? And who is there like me who would go into the Haikel to save his life? I do not go in. And see, I perceived that Elohim had not sent him, but that he spoke this nevuah against me, because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him, because he was a hireling, that I should be afraid and do so and shall sin, and so they could give me an evil name to reproach me. My Elohim, remember Tobiah and Sanballat according to these works of theirs, and the Nehemyah, Noyada, and the rest of the Neviim who would have made me afraid. And the wall was completed on the 25th of the month of Elul in 52 days. And it came to be when all our enemies heard, and all the nations around us saw, that they fell greatly in their own eyes, and knew that this work was done by our Elohim. In those days the nobles of Yahudah also sent many letters to Tobiah, while those of Tobiah came to them. For many in Yahudah were sworn to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, son of Arach, and his son Yehochanan had married the daughter of Meshulam, son of Berechiah. They were also speaking about his good deeds before me, and reported my words to him. Tobiah sent letters to frighten me. Nehemiah, chapter 7. And it came to be, when the wall was rebuilt, that I stood up the doors, and the gatekeepers, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed. And I put my brother Hanani in charge of Jerusalem, and Hananiah the head of the palace, for he was a trustworthy man, and revered Elohim more than many. And I said to them, Let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun is hot, and while they are standing by, let them shut the doors and bolt them, and appoint guards from among the inhabitants of Jerusalem, each at his post, and each in front of his own house. And the city was wide on both sides and great, but the people in it were few, and the houses were not rebuilt. And my Elohim put it into my heart to gather the nobles and the deputy rulers and the people in order to be registered by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of those who had come up at the beginning, and I found written in it, These are the sons of the province who came back from the captivity of the exiles whom Nebuchadnezzar the sovereign of Babel had exiled, and who returned to Jerusalem and Yahudah, each to his city, who came with Zerubbabel, Yeshua, Nehemyah, Azariah, Raamiah, Nehemiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Misperath, Bigwai, Nehum, Baanah, the number of men of the people of Yisrael. Sons of Parosh, 2,172. Sons of Shephatiah, 372. Sons of Arach, 652. Sons of Pachath Moab, of the sons of Yeshua and Yoav, 2,818. Sons of Elam, 1,254. Sons of Zatu, 845. Sons of Zechai, 760. Sons of Benui, 648. Sons of Bebai, 628. Sons of Azgad, 2,322. Sons of Adonikam, 667. Sons of Bigwai, 2,067. Sons of Adin, 655. Sons of Atir of Hizkiah, 98. Sons of Chashum, 328. Sons of Bazai, 324. Sons of Charif, 112. Sons of Gibon, 95. Men of Bethlehem and Netophah, 188. Men of Anatot, 128. Men of Beth Azmaweth, 42. Men of Kiriath Yearim, Kephirah, and Beroth, 743. Men of Ramah and Givah, 621. Men of Mikmas, 122. Men of Bethel and Ai, 123. Men of the other Nebo, 52. Sons of the other Elam, 1,254. Sons of Harim, 320. Sons of Jericho, 345. Sons of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721. Sons of Sanaa, 3,930. The Kohanim, sons of Yedaiah of the house of Yeshua, 973. Sons of Amir, 1,052. Sons of Pashur, 1,247. Sons of Harim, 1,017. The Levites, sons of Yeshua of Kadmiel of the sons of Hodawah, 74. The singers, sons of Asaph, 148. The gatekeepers, sons of Shallum, sons of Etir, sons of Telmon, sons of Akub, sons of Chatzitah, sons of Shavai, 138. The Nethanim, sons of Ziha, sons of Hasupha, sons of Tabaoth, sons of Kerios, sons of Siah, sons of Padon, sons of Lebanah, sons of Chagabah, sons of Salmai, sons of Hanan, sons of Gidel, sons of Gachar, sons of Reaiah, sons of Rezin, sons of Nekodah, sons of Gazam, sons of Uzzah, sons of Paseah, sons of Bezai, sons of Miunim, sons of Nepheshazim, sons of Bakbuk, sons of Hachkufa, sons of Harhur, sons of Batzlith, sons of Mechidah, sons of Harsha, sons of Barkos, sons of Sisera, sons of Temach, sons of Neziah, and sons of Chatapha. The sons of Shelomo's servants, sons of Sotai, sons of Sophereth, sons of Perida, sons of Ya'ala, sons of Darkon, sons of Gidel, sons of Shephatiah, sons of Chatil, sons of Pokereth, of Zevaim, sons of Ammon. All the Nethinim and the sons of Shelomo's servants were 392. And these were the ones who came up from Tel Melach, Tel Harsha, Keruv, Adon, and Imir, but they were unable to show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Yisrael. Sons of Deliah, sons of Toviah, sons of Nekodah, 642. And of the Kohanim, sons of Chavayah, sons of Koz, sons of Barzillai, who took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadites, and was called by their name. These sought their register of those who were counted by genealogy, but it was not found, so they were as defiled from the Kehunah. And the governor said to them that they should not eat of the most Kodesh gifts until a Kohen stood up with the Urim and Tumim. All the assembly together was 42,360. Besides their male and female servants, these were 7,337. And they had 245 men and women singers. Their horses were 736, their mules 245, camels 435, donkeys 6,720. And some of the heads of the fathers contributed to the work. The governor gave to the treasury 1,000 gold drachmas, 50 basins, and 530 garments of Kohanim. Some of the heads of the fathers' houses gave to the treasury of the work 20,000 gold drachmas and 2,200 silver minas. And the rest of the people gave 20,000 gold drachmas, 2,000 silver minas, and 67 garments of Kohanim. So the Kohanim and the Levites and the gatekeepers and the singers and some of the people and the Nethinim and all Yisrael dwelt in their cities.